can I write my own will in Tennessee? That's a question I get a lot in my estate planning 101 workshops that I've been hosting for over a decade. And I want to address the question in today's video. But first, hi, my name is Natasha Hazlett. I'm an estate planning attorney with Hazlett Law. We are a boutique Middle Tennessee estate planning law firm, and I have heard this question so many times, and it's understandable. It's a fair question. With rising gas prices and food prices, everything seems to be getting more and more expensive. We're all looking for ways where we can trim costs. So is estate planning one of those areas? With the rise of AI and ChatGPT and all these do-it-yourself forms online and these legal form generators, is that a good idea? Well, the question I think that we should be asking is not, can I write my own will in Tennessee, but should I write my own will if I'm living in Tennessee? And there's a difference. Just like my parents told me as a child, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Maybe you've had that experience when you are painting a room and you decide, I'm going to do it myself, and then it all goes wrong. Sometimes there are areas where we just need to call a professional in my opinion, estate planning is one of those areas. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and it's what I tell all of my attendees at my workshops. I know you're thinking, of course, Natasha, you're a lawyer. You want to make the most money possible, so you're going to tell me that I need to go to you to get an estate plan. But here's my response. If I wanted to make as much money as possible, I would tell everyone to go and write their own wills. You want to know why? Because I make way more money fixing your mistakes. That's right. Some of the most complicated, messy estates that I have administered in my over 20-year career in this area are estates where people wrote their own wills. They either hand wrote it, they went to a do-it-yourself kind of form generator situation, and they made a big mess. And I want to tell you why. So first of all, these forms, they don't really talk back to you, right? You just fill in the basic information. But the reality is that we don't all live in a Donna Reed, June Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver type family. We've got complicating factors. We've got blended families. We've got minor children. We've got individuals with special needs. We've got individuals with drug or alcohol addiction, people that are not good with money. There are so many confounding factors that just filling in the blanks might not be such a great idea. Also, another thing that you want to take into account is the experience of the person that you're going to. Because with a form, the form's not going to be talking back to you and asking you questions like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? That's another challenge that people face when they go to just a general practitioner, an attorney that doesn't really do a lot of estate administration and probate. As an estate planning attorney and someone that's focused in this area for over 20 years, I've seen a lot. In fact, in my workshops, I tell a lot of my war stories, mistakes that people have made. And because I have seen some really messy cases, I know how to guide my clients into making decisions on areas that they probably never even thought about. I help people to evaluate whether the person that they want to name as executor is actually the right fit. Have they thought about what happens if a child is only 18 years old when they receive their money? There are a lot of different moving parts and different aspects having to do with an estate plan. So just because you can write your own will, and Tennessee has very specific laws for what's called holographic will. So that's a will solely in your handwriting, and there's rules on that and whether they will be accepted or not. But hypothetically, if you meet the requirements for a holographic will, you can write your own will. I've also seen people go in and get forms, and can those work? They can, but it's not 100%. With the rise of AI, I've had people bring to me documents that they thought looked pretty legal, and they did on the surface. I started reading through a document that I received recently. It all sounded very legal, but there were so many conflicting terms, the document actually didn't make any sense. So you've got to be really wary when you're going in these shortcut routes. And here's the thing. A lot of times going to an estate planning attorney and getting an estate plan done will actually save you money. I've had cases where people went and got online forms that they found online. They seemed legal and they didn't actually do what my client thought they would. And they ended up in a big costly mess. So sometimes bringing in a professional to get it done right the first time is actually the smartest decision. And when it comes to estate planning, I believe that just because you can write your own will doesn't mean you should. If you would like to come and have a strategy session with me, I would love to serve you. You can learn all about my estate planning process at my website, franklinestatelaw.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.